Well, Jimmy Crute is live this weekend against Alonzo Menifield at UFC 284 right here in Perth. Jimmy, thanks for your time. It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little while and it's good to be back.
Yeah, you've spent over a year out now with injury. How are you feeling physically?
Physically, I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a journey to get back here, but honestly, mate, I've never been so excited to get in the octagon before in my life.
The most important question, of course, during your time away, mate, what's doing? Where's the mullet? Where's it gone?
In my time away, I decided to get my life back in order, and that was part of the process of doing that. I had to get rid of the mullet. You know, I'm just focused now. I'm just focused on what I need to do, and nothing else. Nothing else exists to me outside of that.
Was the mullet symbolic of something?
No, it was just a COVID disaster.
Gotcha. In that time away, speaking of getting everything together, you mentioned that you gave up booze during that time. Why?
Just something I needed to do. You know, I don't feel like I just feel like for me to win a world title, I need to do everything right, and you know, I'll make the sacrifices to do it. And to me, it's not even a sacrifice because the joy and how much better my life is now since doing that is its own reward.
Now, you've got a perfect record fighting in Australia. How good is it, I guess, for the boy from Bendigo to be representing the people of Victoria in front of your home fans for the UFC's return down under?
It's been a long time since I've fought in Australia. It's been 4 years yesterday since I fought in Australia.
Oh.
So it's been a long time coming. I miss the home country crowd, and you know, it's going to be a pretty special moment afterwards to reflect on.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we know about your humble beginnings, of course, a full-time forklift driver before this whole MMA thing took off for you. You often speak about, I guess, the state of Australian mixed martial arts, right? You've got Alex Volkanovski, you've got Robert Whittaker and Ty at the top, and then there's this kind of chasm, and then all our younger guys are sort of coming through unranked, but they will be inevitably. You and Tyson Pedro, I guess, were kind of the guys who started to break through that, started to be in that conversation, if you like. How did you manage that expectation of coming through the Contender Series, being that guy that was ranked and supposedly the next big thing out of Australia?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't handle it very well at all. I just sort of went with the flow of things and never really made my own decisions on things. So this is a redo for me. This is a whole new beginning, and I'm still ranked. Fortunately, I'm still ranked number 13. Not that matters to me because they're just numbers, but this is a whole new beginning for me, mate, and it's a chance to do it properly this time.
Do you have a message for the people of Victoria, what to expect this weekend when they finally see their homeboy back in action again?
I'm going to finish him, or it's going to be dominant. There's no in between. There's no other option.
Now, you were on such a tear before, I guess, all this sort of happened, right? 12-1, and then you had, obviously, the injury against Anthony Smith. But the only guy that you sort of really lost to around that period, Jamal Hill, happens to be champion right now at 205 pounds. What do you take out of that? Do you take confidence out of that?
Oh, it's cool. It's cool that I've got to share the octagon with a world champion. I take nothing from that win because that wins Jamal Hill's alone. But it just shows I'm right there. You know, my last fight was against Jamal Hill, who is a world champion now.
Yeah.
And then the fight before that was against Anthony Smith, who was the backup replacement fighter for the world title. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool to think about like that. But at the same time, I've got to focus on the fight that's ahead of me.
We'll get to that fight in just a moment, but what went wrong against Jamal Hill, who, as you mentioned, is champion now? What went wrong in that fight, Jimmy?
Jamal Hill was better than me, and that's it.
Okay.
No excuses.
Alonzo Menifield is one hell of a knockout artist, right? Tremendous power in his hands. What do you need to do to get the victory over him this weekend?
Just need to be myself, man. I need to avoid the power. I need to be smart and be present in the octagon. I can't let my mind wander, and I just got to be there, and then the rest takes care of itself.
How excited did you see all these young Aussie fighters coming through? I mentioned before, it feels like we're on the verge of something great here, Aussie MMA. Yeah,
there's a buzz getting around the hotel that's really cool to be part of. Every time we walk in the room and there's other Aussie fighters, you just feel the energy. Obviously, everyone's focused on their fight, but the support and just the energy around the hotel has been really uplifting and awesome.
Who are you most excited to see out of your mates fighting on this card? Besides Alex.
All of them. I've got to say Jack. I'm the closest with Jack Jenkins, so I've got to say Jack Jenkins, man. Me and Jack have been through so much together, and we said we said on my second pro fight, we said we're gonna be here, fighting on the same UFC card one day, and this is that moment.
Realising some dreams, huh?
Yeah.
In the main event, Alexander Volkanovski looking to become only the 5th UFC champion to hold 2 belts simultaneously. We get your tip against Islam Makhachev.
Volk, baby.
Yeah.
It's Volk, man. I got a good feeling. I feel like he's going to get the upset. Volk, there's so much more to Volk than meets the eye, and he's going to show that.
Jimmy, it's so good to see you again, mate. All the best. We can't wait to see you back in action.
It's good to be back.